Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Please say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis.
Oh, why, thank you, Professor. Oh, it's such a relief to be here today. I knew that class was going to happen, but I just don't count my Torchics until they hatch.
Oh.
I've been sitting here on edge.
What is a Torchic?
Just waiting for
it's
class
a
to
Torchic
start
check.
for the last 3 hours.
You're checking your Torchics.
Oh, right.
Check. He likes to
It's
save time.
Torchic, not Torchic.
I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
Well, yeah, but it's a Torchic check, so it's checking.
I heard Torchic. Okay, I'm sorry.
I definitely, I said Torchic.
Because it's a Torchic check. He's just saving time, Corbin. And by the way, in case you didn't know, this is our trainer in training, Corbin. Please say hello to the class.
What's
Corbin.
up, everyone? I feel I'm trained at this point, and I'm ready to be out in the wild.
No.
Ready
You
to
still
go
don't
out
know
to
about the incredible evolutionary process of Slowpoke into Slowbro. So
Is that necessary in order to start my Pokemon journey?
it's extremely necessary because I think it gives us a lot of information about evolutions in general. So I think it's
really?
Important to talk about because that is I normally ask you guys, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it right now. We are learning about Slowbro today, which is the evolved form of Slowpoke.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
I'm gonna
I
say
thought we were talking about
yes.
Decidui again.
No, Curtis, we've never talked about Decidui. That was Rowlet.
Well, to be fair, me and Mr. Curtis have talked about Decidui.
Yeah.
He was in previous classes.
Oh, that's right.
So.
Previous
In my
classes.
previous iterations of this class.
Yeah, he's been here before. But no. We're learning about Slowbro, which is the evolved form of Slowpoke, and I put heavy air quotes around evolved form because we'll kind of have to decide for ourselves today if it really is an evolved form of Slowpoke or just like a different version of Slowpoke.
Sure.
We'll decide that. I actually, you know what? And interestingly enough, I don't have a Slowbro today, but
That's a shame.
but what I
Professor,
do have,
Step
what
it
I
up,
do,
man.
hold on. What I do have is a Slowpoke. Here's that.
Oh, hello. Okay. Okay.
I would tell you not to scare it, but I mean, it doesn't really react to things.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
And
I see his tail is intact. Thank you, Professor. I see my message got across last time.
well, I mean, I might have sliced one off and chomped down on it last night, and it would have already grown back. You'd be none the wiser.
I don't think they grow back that fast, but okay.
They grow back pretty fast. And also in this Pokeball here, I have a Shellder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know we. Is
Yes.
it a Shellder lesson today, or
You know, it kind of is. We're not going to have a full lesson on Shellder until a couple of weeks from now, but we are going to learn a little bit about Shellder today. All right, so you can kind of see already. You can already see the Shellder kind of inching its way closer and closer to the Slowpoke's tail. So they are very much drawn to it, which is very interesting. Okay, there it goes. And and now it's bitten. It's bitten onto the tail. And that right there is a Slowbro. That's it. That's all it is.
That's it?
You can see that it's standing on two legs now.
Wait a minute. That doesn't. No, wait, hold on.
Yes,
you gotta evolve the Slowpoke.
You do not. This is the evolution of Slowpoke, and if you don't believe me, we'll read through the Pokédex entries.
I've been by the beach and I've seen Shelders before. That doesn't look like a Shellder on its tail. How is its tail still intact?
Well, okay, we'll learn a little bit more about that in a second.
Okay.
Because something weird happens to Shellder when it does bite on to a Slowpoke tail.
Okay.
Not much weird happens to the Slowpoke though. It kind of just stands on its hind legs, and it gets a little bit bigger, I guess. But I mean, it's. And here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna go ahead.
Yes, Professor. I'm ready.
I have this special tool right here. I'm just gonna.
What are you doing?
It's okay. It may be hard to see because it's below the desk. I'm prying the Shellder off.
Don't. That's gonna hurt. Don't do that. That's unnatural.
I could just cut off the tail.
Just leave it alone. Leave it
No,
alone.
this is important for you to see. I'm gonna.
Oh.
Here, Mr. Curtis, you grab this handle, and we'll.
I don't want to participate in this, but okay.
You're not hurting anything. You're not cutting the tail off.
Can you give the Slowbro something to bite
Okay,
down
on three. On three. One.
Why are you not reacting, Slowbro?
3. Okay, there we go. All right, so now the Shellder is off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the Shellder back into the Pokeball. Okay, and then if you look, it's just a Slowpoke now.
It did kind of like spontaneously start to shrink a little bit.
It's back on its 4 legs, and it is a Slowpoke.
You went to magic school, didn't you? You think you're a magician, Professor? I see your tricks.
Magic is not real. My sweet summer child.
Professor is a man of science.
Magic is science
magic,
that we don't understand, because
This is kind of true.
Yeah, because imagine if like Pokemon didn't exist and they didn't,
I couldn't even imagine that horrible universe.
Imagine somebody that existed in a universe where Pokemon didn't exist and they materialize into this one. They'd be like, wow, these things are all magic. That's just nope.
I guess they kind of would. I mean, there's a lot that we don't know. I wouldn't call it magic though.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. It's science that we don't get. We don't understand it.
Okay. All right, so that was my little science experiment for us here today, was to watch the rise.
How you
and
feeling,
fall.
buddy? You okay, Slowpoke? I think that means he's fine.
He doesn't feel anything. He is a Slowpoke.
Well, that's metal.
I mean,
bro.
he does feel it. Just takes a while.
You don't feel anything. Ugh, yeah, metal. Ugh, yeah, rock hard.
Okay, yeah. Do you wanna name the Slowpoke before I put it back into the Pokeball?
What is something that doesn't feel anything? How about we call him Socio, like sociopath?
No.
I like Granite. Let's call him Granite.
That doesn't.
No, he's not. No, that doesn't make any
sense.
sense, Curtis. You
doesn't
idiot.
make
He's a rock solid.
I mean,
boy.
What if we just call him Bro?
That works.
He's a bro.
That's fine.
Okay,
Bro.
hey, bro.
Works.
Okay.
All right, bro. Thanks for coming out, bro.
All right, we'll put Bro away for now.
Bye, bro.
Bye, bro.
All right, let's get started looking at these Pokédex entries, because there's some really interesting stuff here, and I think we should just dive into it. All right, starting in the Kanto region. The first one says, the Shellder that is latched onto Slowpoke's tail is said to feed on the host's leftover scraps.
Through its tail?
Or through its butt. Through its butt.
Oh no.
No.
Well, no,
No,
it doesn't say waste.
It
It says scraps. Scraps is what you leave left on the table. If it said it fed on its waist,
well, it must just fall into the Shellder's mouth, though, right?
yeah, it's gotta be a messy eater.
I guess so. And it just falls in and it just digests it like that.
Yeah. There's no way that a Shellder is what Curtis's mother is, a poop eater.
Corbin.
Got him.
Man, normally I don't like those jabs, but God, poop is always funny. Poop is always funny.
Poop is hilarious. I am 10.
Oh my goodness. All right, the next entry here says, lives lazily by the sea. If the Shellder on its tail comes off, it becomes a Slowpoke again.
And we saw that.
Oh,
that happened.
So this is actually like just written right here.
Yes, this is documented in the Pokédex. This is, I think, the first and maybe only documented, recorded event of a Pokemon evolving and then de-evolving.
Yeah,
would you call that a Pokemon
evolution.
fusion? Is that a thing?
Like, I would definitely call it more of a fusion than I would call it a evolution, because it really isn't evolving that much.
Okay.
Isn't that what Mega Evolutions do though? Like Mega Evolutions evolve and then de-evolve.
That's true, but Mega Evolutions don't have their own Pokédex entry.
Also, Mega Evolutions are like that's a power, Mr. Curtis. That's like a super. That's like an extra ability. That's like it's like a super power. You know what I mean? Like whereas the Shellder and the Slowpoke, the Shellder just bit his butt, and that just became a new Pokemon. Like there's no extra power being added to the equation.
And that is a very astute observation, Mr. Curtis. So I thank you for that.
I live to please you, Professor.
I thought I had a good answer.
Sorry, I was not listening to what your answer was. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking about my answer and how I could, be nice to Mr. Curtis before I tell him he's an idiot and tell him that he's completely wrong.
Got him.
I mean, okay, so yes, you're right. Mega Evolution, they quote unquote evolve and then they de-evolve. So I guess so, but like, when we say a Pokemon evolves, right, and we do say that Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro, we give it a new page in the Pokédex, right? Slowbro is Pokemon number 80 in the National Pokédex, right?
Right.
Now, and then the Mega Evolution is just another part of that same page, right? So if we're
Correct,
assuming that this is
yes.
like a Mega Evolution, then I don't know. Let's move on. Let's read a little bit more and see if we can like justify this in a different way. If its tail is bitten by a Shellder, Slowpoke evolves into Slowbro. The Shellder seems to like its crunchy tail.
So there's an interaction there. So you didn't evolve it. You actually just made just a Shellder bite a Slowpoke's butt. Because it says it bites it, then it evolves. So then there is the, energy reaction that causes an evolution. That's how it sounds. That's not what we saw.
Sounds in this one, but there's more where it describes it more in detail and
God.
yeah.
Will we ever have a consistent answer about anything?
Yeah, no, we won't. In fact, there's Pokédex entries here that do contradict themselves.
I believe it.
All right. Moving on to the Johto region. The first one here says, if the tail-biting Shellder is thrown off in a harsh battle, it reverts to being an ordinary Slowpoke.
Well, there you go. That would suck in the
There you
middle of
go.
a battle, though.
Yeah, it's like, oh crap!
Oh
My god, my
it doesn't
Pokemon...
remember the moves. I already taught it.
Oh god!
Oh, it's loafing around. Yeah, that would suck.
Naturally dull to begin with, it lost its ability to feel pain due to Shellder's seeping poison.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Didn't it take it a minute to feel pain anyway when it was Slowpoke?
it did, but now it doesn't feel pain.
Oh, at all? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Is
I
it,
wonder...
like, is it all pain throughout its body or just on its tail? Like, is it just impervious to pain now?
Well, because
think
then it's the
it's-
ultimate weapon. It's the ultimate Pokemon,
Well, it's not.
It feels no pain.
That's not true. The ability to feel things is a very, very important defense mechanism.
Well, it can feel
That's
things,
what my
just
mom.
not
That's what my
pain.
mom told me when my dad left, but I don't agree.
The ability to feel pain is a very, very important defense mechanism.
No.
So like if it's like hand is on fire and it's like asleep, it's not gonna wake up because it's just gonna burn to death because it doesn't know.
Right. That's true.
But I'm assuming that the Pokédex entry does mean that it doesn't feel pain anywhere. That's what I'm assuming it means.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
Yeah.
like.
That's
kinda
what I'm interpreting it as well. It just loses all ability to feel pain.
Yes.
Is a fearless monster
Yeah.
of destruction.
If you want to
Okay,
interpret
wow.
it like that, that's fine. But I don't think that. I don't.
You can
maybe
kill.
maybe it probably is fearless.
You could
because
kill a Slowbro's mother in front of it, and it'd be like, cool. Doesn't
it
feel
wouldn't.
anything.
It wouldn't even comprehend that that's what was happening.
Yeah.
All right. The last entry here from the Johto region says, an attached Shellder won't let go because of the tasty flavor that oozes out of its tail.
That's right. We did learn that last week. The sucky, sweet
Yes.
nectar out of a Slowpoke's
So-
tail.
My question is, since the Slowpoke used to use its tail to catch fish, with all that nice good juice, now that the Slowbro no longer has that because it gets gobbled up by the Shellder, how does the Slowbro catch fish?
My
Or does the
goodness,
Slowbro
what
get to eat it all?
an astute and interesting question, Mr. Curtis, and one that is so on point.
Lactation from its nipples.
One that's so on point for the next Pokédex entry here. It makes me wonder if you've looked ahead in the textbook.
I actually did not. That was
Okay, well, you're
natural...
supposed to read the textbook before you come to class, so...
I think you forget that he's taken this class 7 other times.
Maybe I just remember it from last time I took
Maybe.
the class.
That's what I'm saying. He's taken this class 7 other times.
Oh,
so.
okay. It's like a fond memory for him that he's just now starting to... it's like when you smell something that
Yeah.
smells like a place that you have strong memories of, but you forgot all about that place until you smell that smell.
Yeah.
Mr. Curtis forgot all the knowledge that he had about Slowbro until
Yeah.
he,
Yeah.
Like Curtis,
so I started
sniffed
hearing it.
something. I don't know. I can't.
like Mr. Curtis smells like old mothballs, and it reminds me of my grandmother's closet.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yep.
Smell good.
All right, let me read this entry. It comes to us from the Hoenn region. We're done with the Johto region. It says, Slowbro's tail has a Shellder firmly attached with a bite. As a result, the tail can't be used for fishing anymore. This causes Slowbro to grudgingly swim to catch prey instead.
Oh.
Wow, that really answered my question, huh?
Really
Wow.
did.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like an evolutionary advantage. That's got to put in more work.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, I guess it's still got to eat. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It does have to put in more work, but it does also have. Okay, we haven't read that yet, so I'm not gonna say anything.
No
about
spoilers, Professor.
that. I don't want to do any spoilers.
You done did that.
All right. So the next one here and the last one from the Hoenn region says, when a Slowpoke went hunting in the sea, its tail was bitten by a Shellder. That made it evolve, quote unquote, into a Slowbro.
Okay.
I added the quotes there. They weren't automatically, and I added it myself.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that does it for the Hoenn region. Let's move on to the Sinnoh region. I think there's only one here. Yes. Though usually dim-witted, it seems to become inspired if the Shellder on its tail bites down.
No kidding.
Okay, well, it doesn't feel anything on
No.
its tail. So what would biting down cause it to do? Like, why would that prompt it?
I don't know. Why don't
It
we ask
doesn't
a
feel
Slowbro?
anything sensory-wise. It feels something emotionally.
I think it has to do with... Okay, there's clearly some kind of internal chemical reaction happening, right between the Shellder and the Slowpoke that's creating a Slowbro. And I think it's when it bites down, it injects more of whatever is causing that chemical reaction.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's how it does it. Again, this isn't in the Pokédex. This is just a hunch from Professor Jacob, so you can take it or leave it. We can really only speculate as there's no, information directly given to us on this topic. So I don't know. What do you, my students here? What do you think? Please raise your hand one at a time. Yes, Mr. Curtis. Thank you for raising your hand so tightly.
Professor me.
What is it? Yeah, I already called on you. What do you think makes the Slowbro more inspired when the Shellder bites down?
I think see, I was gonna say that the sharp reaction perks them right up, but they're not feeling any pain.
They don't feel any pain.
So maybe there's a pressure point that's there, and they're not feeling any pain, but it like triggers a like when you like tap your knee in a certain spot and your knee just goes and jumps like this, like
And it makes you fart. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, not fart. It just kind of like makes your leg go, like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I think I understand now.
When you hit it in a certain spot, it's like a I don't know what they call it, a reflex almost,
Reflex.
like a pressure point reflex.
Okay.
type
Yes.
deal. And it just causes some kind of jolt to the Slowbro, which kind of gets them to wake up and pay attention to what's going on.
Okay, very interesting. Now I do see. I hate to cut you off, but I do see that Corbin also has his hand raised. He wants to weigh in on this as well. So please, Corbin, go ahead.
I think it is. He doesn't feel anything at all, Mr. Curtis. And I think it's a visual thing. He looks at it and says, "There's another life on me that I have to take care of now." And now I'm inspired to not just survive and exist for myself, but I also now have to exist and survive and have a purpose for this Shellder on me.
What does the biting down harder have to do with that, though?
That's a good point. What does it have to do with it?
Well, because it knows it's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? It's not just like this isn't just like
the harder it bites, the more
it realizes
says,
this is a part of me now. This is a parasite that I need to learn to love and accept and take care for. And the harder it bites, the more it realizes, oh, this is a part of me now. This is my life, and this is my new friend.
Maybe it has to do with when it bites down, it's like adjusting its position slightly, and that allows more blood flow through the
I don't
Slowbro.
think you raised your hand. I don't think anyone asked you anything.
Well, I'm the professor. I don't have
The
to
professor
raise
can
my
speak when he wants, Corbin. Check your privilege.
Yes, Mr. Professor, you had your hand raised. Please continue.
Well, now I'm not going to, because I don't like it.
Professor Corbin, the professor talks to
Professor,
once.
you had your
Doesn't
hand
need
raised.
permission.
Professor, please.
No.
Please. Professor,
I don't want
you had your hand raised?
No.
Wow.
I am going to read the next Pokédex entry, not because you called on me, Corbin, but because I want to.
Well, you're still going to read it with one hand raised. What do you want to say?
No, I'm not. I'm not raising a hand. As you see, because
If
I'm
the professor
clapping
wants
them.
to hold
I'm
his
clapping my
hand in
hands
the
right
air,
now.
he can gosh darn hold his hand in the air.
I
Yeah, it is a
can't
little
possibly-
hot in here today. I understand. Yeah, my pits are sweaty too. So
Wait,
Gotta air those pits.
oh my god, I'm clapping my hands. They can't possibly be raised. All right, so we're done with the Sinnoh region. There was only one entry there. And we've already read the stuff from Unova because they just copied what they wrote in other regions, and same with Kalos, so we won't read those. But we will move on to the Alola region. In Alola, they say it spaces out while gazing at the sea. With Shellder's poison flowing through its body, it becomes even spacier.
ooh,
Even more.
it gets
spacey.
high. It's like a drug.
It kind of is. Yeah, I really do think that it is. I mean, it makes it not feel pain. It
Hey
makes
kid,
it spacey.
you want to get any Shellder poison? Yeah.
It's clearly affecting the Slowbro's brain.
At what age do I have to be in order to buy Shellder poison?
I mean, I don't know. Okay. Oh, whoa. Okay, so it's clearly a poison, right? So there's poison flowing through its body. So maybe
Yeah.
when the Shellder bites down, it's like injecting more of the poison. I think that's probably what's happening.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So we did already talk about its poison.
Right. We did. We definitely did.
Yeah, I remember that now. I was there for that. Okay, the next entry says, whenever Shellder bites down hard on its tail, it gives Slowbro a flash of inspiration, which it forgets a moment later.
Ah.
I know.
See, if it was something a chemical, it would. I think the effect would last longer. But no, see, this is just like when you tap your knee and your leg goes like that.
Okay, you don't have to keep
I don't think
farting.
necessarily.
No,
Yeah,
I think it's a
just
stroke of inspiration.
A one-time
No.
little jolt,
No.
a little, and then
Nope,
it,
it's a
then
visual
it's back
thing.
to,
He realizes, oh, okay, I have to take care of this thing now, but then he forgets about
as soon
it.
as he looks away,
Because he doesn't feel anything. He doesn't feel anything, so he realizes, he looks at it and goes, oh, what just bit me? Okay, that thing. And then he turns back around and then forgets about it.
Okay.
But he doesn't feel it.
He doesn't feel it, but he sees it. He sees it in his peripherals.
Okay, but he's not all... its eyes... It's a predator. Its eyes are on the front of its head.
You don't know its history. You can't say it's a predator.
It is. Okay, I mean, it is in the, Pokemon sense. It hunts other Pokemon for food.
Look,
It is
it might not be
therefore a
able to
predator.
feel anything, but it can sense it. It could smell it. It could probably smell a Shellder. Smells like seawater around its butt area. That's got to be a Shellder.
Okay, but you can't smell it biting harder.
Listen, once it smells it, it smells the seawater and it says, "Oh my gosh, there's something there." And then it turns around and looks and says, "Oh my gosh, there's a Shellder on me. It's biting my butt." And then it sinks its teeth in more, and then it was like, "Oh my god, what do I do about this? I have to protect this thing. It's a part of me now." And then it turns
does-
around and forgets it immediately.
I don't think it does need to worry about protecting the Shellder. It's not like it's its child.
I think Slowbro's pretty considerate.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll let you go on.
It
thinking
is. Listen, it is a bro.
It is.
that. But okay. Those, it is a bro. Those last two entries, right? So the one that we just read says, it gives Slowbro a flash of inspiration, right? But the one before that said, with Shellder's poison flowing through its body, it becomes even spacier, right? And then the next one here says, spacing out is basically all it does.
Yeah.
It turns back into a Slowpoke if its tail along the Shellder breaks off. So
Sure.
So what it's saying is it's very conflicting, right? Those several entries, all from the Alola region, where some say it only spaces out, while some say it gets more inspiration from the Shellder. Like, if it's injecting more poison into it, right? Which I guess is
You can space
but
out
maybe
and be
I'm wrong.
inspired.
Huh?
You could space out and be inspired.
is being inspired in space. I feel like they're, they can't happen at the same
I
time.
space out. When I space out in your class 90% of the time, I'm daydreaming. I'm thinking about something else, and I'm being inspired by something else.
Okay. All right. Okay. Please don't space out in my class, though, if you could.
What?
God damn. All right, let me read this next one. It says, Shellder, in its greed to suck out more and more sweetness from Slowbro's tail,
Ooh, suck that sweetness, Shellder. Ooh.
has metamorphosed into a spiral-shaped shell.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, I guess it wasn't stuck there long enough to. We didn't see that part yet.
Well, I mean, it did kind of start. Like, this does all happen pretty quickly. We did start to see it kind of spiral up a little bit.
Right, but you pried it off before it really got full,
Yeah. So if you ever hear somebody saying, that's not a Shellder that's biting onto Slowbro's tail, don't listen to them.
That's what I said.
Kindly inform them that this is a scientific fact that we know that they have metamorphosed directly. Speaking directly.
Metamorphosized?
No, metamorphosed. That's what it says.
Metamorphosing.
No, it says metamorphosed.
Metamorphizing. Metaphorsizing.
Into a spiral-shaped shell. That's
Okay.
We know that scientifically. All right, so it is a Shellder, even though it doesn't look like a Shellder. All right, moving on to the Galar region. There's 2 entries here. All right, the first one says Slowpoke became a Slowbro when a Shellder bit onto its tail.
We know
Sweet
this.
flavors seeping from the tail make the Shellder feel as if its life is a dream.
Oh.
Okay, so this is now we get to talk about how the Shellder's high is going.
Yeah. So they're
Wait.
both high.
The Shellder thinks its life's a dream?
Yes, sweet
Okay,
flavors
alright,
seeping
gotcha.
from the tail make the Shellder feel as if its life is a dream.
I wasn't totally onto this, but this actually seems to be a very symbiotic I get you high, you get me high situation.
Yeah.
It's actually not a bad deal.
No. Everybody wins.
Everybody gets high.
Does the Slowbro really win, though?
I mean, it feels good. It gets high and it can stand
no.
up.
It becomes spacier, and it loses its ability to feel pain. Does it feel better, though? I'm not sure.
I mean, the ability to feel pain or not feel pain would be, I think, an advantage at some point.
It's true, but it does also have to now go swim and go hunt for its own food.
That's true. Hey, gets more exercise.
So it's not a...
Yeah, but it needs to know pain so that its body knows when to stop. Like, what happens if there's a battle and a Scyther slices open a Slowbro's insides and that thing is still trying to swing and fight and its guts are falling out? It's not gonna know.
I think it would die anyways.
I mean, it's not
I
gonna
don't
know.
think that Slowbro is gonna make it.
I think it would make it if it could feel pain and say, "Oh, I better stop and apply pressure." I
I
better
gotta hold up my guts. My guts.
Yeah,
are
I better
falling
apply
out.
pressure.
I don't know. You could just chop its limbs off at any time, so maybe it just will heal right up.
Okay, it's not all the limbs; it's just the tail.
You can only no. You can only cut off its tail and have the tail grow back. You can't cut off any of its limbs.
Yeah, not every
and those
limb.
grow back.
Mr. Curtis, you can't just cut off a Slowbro's arm. it's not
I
gonna
cut
grow
off
back.
its head. Why is it not growing its body back?
Oh God.
It just grew. Yeah, it just grows its entire body back. There you go.
Or question: would the body part grow a head back,
Something to think about.
or would they both do it and now you have 2 Slowpokes?
Look, please, let's not give Curtis any ideas for more experiments,
I
please.
like it.
Nope.
Ooh, this must be
No.
experimented
We can't be cutting off Pokemon heads.
Where's the vivisection point that if you cut a Slowbro in half or Slowpoke in half, that both halves will continue to grow?
The world
Do we go
must
down
know.
the dorsal division line? Do we go down
God.
a lateral division
That's
line?
horrible.
At what point? You know?
Do you think that's how they reproduce?
I
They
mean,
just
it
cut
must be.
themselves
That should be-
apart?
I mean, I don't think
Kind of interesting.
we need more Slowpokes in the world.
That's a little rude.
Because we have a lot, and that would probably throw off the ecosystem a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, the last one here from the Galar region says, being bitten by a Shellder shocked this Pokemon into standing on 2 legs. If the Shellder lets go, it seems Slowbro will turn back into a Slowpoke.
There you go.
All right, that is the most detailed description of the quote-unquote evolution process of a Slowbro.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It gets bitten, and then gets shocked into standing on two legs.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is that an evolution? Does that count?
There is a transformative interaction there because the Shellder changes into a new form, so yes.
But that's over time. It's not like I don't know, man. This whole Slowpoke, Slowbro, Shellder scenario is like it's really not sitting right with me. I feel like we need a new classification for this Slowbro. It's not even really a Slowbro. It's a Slowpoke and Shellder hybrid. That's what this is.
We should call it a conjunction Pokemon.
Right, or like you said earlier, a fusion Pokemon. Like I'd be happy with that.
Fusion Pokemon. Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like more better categorization can be done here with this Slowbro. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to read what we have. All right.
We are.
We can speculate.
We can.
That does it for the regional entries on Slowbro. We have one unique Pokédex entry here. It comes to us from Ash's Pokédex. It says, Slowbro, the Hermit Crab Pokémon. Slowbro are able to use powerful psychic attacks, but generally prefers to avoid conflict.
Okay, that's fair.
So, that's the first that we've heard of a psychic ability.
Well, it is a psychic type. It's psychic and water, right?
True. I mean, that's true, but like...
So we know that.
We wouldn't know that, right? Because, like, I mean, there's nothing really about Slowbro that says, I'm a psychic type, right? Until it starts, like, picking up stuff with its mind.
True,
Can it do that, though? Nothing in the Pokédex entries has indicated that it has telekinesis powers.
You're right. Maybe not telekinesis, but it can use powerful psychic attacks.
That's true.
That's true. That may or may not be telekinesis. It may just be, it takes your brain and squishes it real good.
Facts.
But that must be from the Shellder poison. I would have to assume. All right, that does it. That's it for the entries on Cantonian Slowbro. But there is a Galarian Slowbro, so let's go ahead and read those entries. They of course come to us from the Galar region.
All right.
The first one here says a Shellder bite set off a chemical reaction with the spices inside Slowbro's body, causing Slowbro to become a poison-type Pokemon.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, so I didn't know it was poison type.
Yeah, well, the Galarian Slowbro is a poison type. It's poison and psychic, which is a very interesting combination.
That is cool. So it sets off a whole chain reaction, and I guess it injects it with more poison in the Galar region. Those Shelders are eating something different.
No. The Slowpokes. It says Slowbro here, but it means Slowpoke.
Oh, okay.
The Slowpokes are. Remember, before we read that it eats a special spice that turns it yellow.
Right. Yeah.
It makes it spicy.
Yes. Oh, yes. It makes the tail. What spicy? I guess. Yeah. That same spice makes it a weird poison when mixed with the Shellder bite. I guess.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm having trouble remembering. So the weird spice is what makes it have that yellow color to it.
The Slowpoke. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
The weird spice that it eats in the Galarian.
Gotcha. So the poison mixed with that causes it to be poison type.
Also,
Gotcha.
it looks to have bitten him on the hand. Looking here at the Pokédex picture.
Yes, it does. It does. It did bite it on its hand. Nothing doesn't really talk about that much. It doesn't talk about why it bit the hand, right? Because maybe. Okay, again, this is speculation on my part. There's nothing here to say whether or not it actually does.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it doesn't maybe Shelders don't like spicy, like a spicy flavor.
Oh, okay.
And so they stay.
And it seeps out of the tail.
They stay
and then
away
they don't want
from
to eat that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it did still decide to bite its hand. I don't know why. Man, I do not know. I do not know why.
I wish you did. As a professor, I wish you did.
Well, okay, but I mean, listen. I'm telling you the communal knowledge that we all have. All right, and that's not knowledge that we have. Nobody knows. So if you would like to find out, then once you get your Pokemon trainer's license, you can go out there and you can study Galarian Slowbros.
I mean, I'd like to do that now if possible.
Unfortunately, you can't. Because we still have one more entry here from the Galar region on Galarian Slowbro. It says, If this Pokemon squeezes the tongue of the Shellder biting it, the Shellder will launch a toxic liquid from the tip of its shell.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
like its butt.
Cool. So you squeeze the tongue and then it shoots something out of its butt.
Yeah, it's a
That's nice.
toxic liquid.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, so the Slowbro squeezes the tongue of the Shellder on its arm, and then
yes.
the Shellder uses a diarrhea attack.
I mean, if you want to describe it like that, I guess so.
A poison diarrhea attack. Wow, it sounds like me after a nice bean burrito.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Poop jokes, always funny. Always
Hey.
funny.
I wasn't joking, but thanks.
All right, so that does it for the regional entries on Galarian Slowbro. However,
What?
Slowbro still has one more form. That's right.
Oh
there is
my god.
a Slowbro can Mega Evolve.
Oh, this thing can do everything, can it? It can do everything
Yeah.
and nothing.
There's a couple entries here from the Alola region on its Mega Evolution, so let's read those.
Okay.
And can the Slowbro really evolve? We'll talk about that in a second. We can figure it out.
We've been talking about that the whole time, but yeah.
Also, no, Mega Evolve is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because we'll talk about that in a second. And also, all of these entries I'm about to read, there's 5 of them.
Okay.
All of them, well, most of them, they don't talk about Slowbro. They call it Slowpoke.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which is weird. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and read them. All the energy from Mega Evolution poured into the Shellder on its tail, leaving Slowpoke to be swallowed whole.
Ooh.
Just
Now,
suck that boy right up.
Now, you're thinking, Jacob, you must have messed up and said Slowpoke instead of Slowbro. No, it says Slowpoke in the Pokédex. Now, the Shellder was already on its tail. This Pokemon is a Slowbro, right?
No argument there.
Now, what this
you're
makes me think is once the Shellder, it's talking about the 2 Pokemon separately, right? That makes me further think that this is a Pokemon fusion and not an evolution. This is not a Slowbro. This is a Shellder on a Slowpoke. And that's what these Mega Evolution entries really kind of hammer home for me.
Right. Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking anyways.
Yeah.
All right, the next one here says, when bathed in the energy of Mega Evolution, Shellder converts into impregnable armor. There is virtually no change in Slowpoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's fun. So, it seems like the Shellder is getting the better deal of this whole thing.
Yeah, it's really...
Definitely a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, it is very symbiotic. But it's more... I would call this a Mega Shellder and not really a Mega Slowbro, if you ask me.
I mean, yeah, that's what it sounds like, because the Slowpoke doesn't change.
No, Slowbro.
So, same thing.
It says Slowpoke.
Pink floppy Pokemon.
Basically.
The floppy boy. Alright, the next one says, tremendous energy strengthened the power of the Shellder on its tail, but it doesn't really affect Slowpoke. Okay. Yep, we kind of heard that already. Having been swallowed whole by the Shellder, Slowbro now has an iron defense. It's pretty comfortable in there, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, it's just chilling.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, Professor.
Chilling.
That's not me saying that. That's the Pokédex entry saying that.
Oh, that's... All
That's
right.
in the
Cool.
it's in the Pokédex. So yeah, at least that's good, right? Like, I was a little bit worried when it said that the Shellder completely devours the Slowpoke, but as long as it's happy in there.
Yeah. Slowbro ain't trying to get out, you know what I mean?
And the last one here says, under the influence of Shellder's digestive fluids, Slowpoke has awakened, gaining a great deal of power and a little motivation to boot.
I thought the Slowpoke was completely unchanged.
Yeah, I know. I would also think that it was completely unchanged, from the Pokédex entries that mentioned how, it remained completely unchanged. But apparently they lied.
These poop heads need to get their story straight.
Alright, so it doesn't say in absolute there are no changes to the Slowpoke.
That's fair, I guess.
But also, one of them does refer to him as Slowbro. That's a little weird.
Okay, but look at that. It's saying So it's having been swallowed whole by Shellder, Slowbro, both of them, the two together, now has an iron defense.
Now have an iron defense.
Yes.
Because they're now one unit again.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So like before when it's saying tremendous energy, strengthen the power of Shellder on its tail, but it doesn't really affect Slowpoke. So they're two separate things in that
Right.
definition there. It's a Pokemon fusion, not an evolution. I'm standing by it. I've decided here that this is the hill I will die on.
Is this how many Pokefusions are there though? Is this the one and only?
The one so far.
I'm not sure. I mean, maybe could you consider, say, Dugtrio a Pokemon fusion? Could you consider, we haven't talked about this yet, Magneton a Pokemon fusion? Because they are pretty much the same Pokemon. Just
Yeah, now you think about it,
three of them
Dugtrio
together.
is more of a fusion. Yeah.
that does it. That's all the entries. All right, we read
That's
all
it.
the Pokédex entries here, so we don't need to read anymore. Thank
We're done.
goodness. But I am gonna have to ask you to put away your Pokédexes. Make sure
Oh,
you put
no.
away any kind of notes that you wrote, because it is time. It's been a little while, but it's time for a pop quiz.
Oh no,
but
not
bang.
these.
I know you've missed it.
What?
I know you've missed it.
I'm talking about
That's
Stop celebrating. He's gonna do more of them.
all right. So go ahead. All right, calm down. Stop dancing. Please sit back down.
I'm sorry. Let me sit down.
Okay. So make sure you grab out a piece of paper. Make sure you grab out something to write with, in case you want to take notes. A ruler would probably be pretty good, too. Maybe a fun hat. Let's all just grab a fun hat to keep things light.
I got one.
Good. All right, describe your hats for me.
It's got a Butterfree on it.
Okay.
It's like, it looks, I can see from here, it's like a little top hat, too.
Yeah.
A top hat with a Butterfree on the top. Yeah. Mr. Curtis, please describe your
Mine
hat.
is a beanie knitted out of spinnerack silk. Actually,
Ew.
it is very sticky. I cannot get it off my head. Right now.
That's not great.
Okay, that's gross.
Mine's a sombrero, kind of like how the Lombre wear. Mine looks
Oh
like that.
yeah.
Thank you.
You didn't get it from a Lombre.
No, hope not.
No, I made it myself
Okay.
from
good.
Lombre skin. Okay, so let's go
What?
ahead.
I'm sorry?
And,
I'm sorry?
Are we all
I'm
ready
sorry?
for question number 1?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Question number 1. What Pokemon is biting Slowbro's tail, and what happens when it comes off? Okay, let's take a look at these answers. Corbin says Shellder is the Pokemon that is biting onto Slowbro's tail. And for the second part, he says Slowbro turns back into Slowpoke. Yes. Maybe. We'll see. Maybe. I don't
Hey.
want to say yes or no yet.
No, it's correct. You know it.
Oh.
Okay. Mr. Curtis says it is a Shellder biting that juicy tail. And if it comes off, Slowbro, he made that 2 words for some reason, becomes just an individual Slowpoke and an individual Shellder. Yes, you're both correct.
Yeah, and it was biting that juicy tail.
You're right. He did capitalize juicy, and I didn't put a fun emphasis on it, so I apologize for
How
that,
dare
Mr.
you.
Curtis.
That's
I'll
good.
make sure to do
Thank
that
you.
next time.
Just want to make sure the class really understands where I'm coming from.
That's how excited you are about how juicy his tail is.
Juicy tail.
All right, question number 2. How does Galarian Slowbro get its Shellder to launch a toxic liquid from the tip of its shell? All right, both of the answers are in. Corbin says it squeezes the Shellder's tongue with its hand inside. Okay. Also, I would just like to say that Shellder does have 2 L's there, Corbin. Just so you know.
He
Just
misspelled
so you
the
know.
Pokemon.
Listen.
He misspelled the Pokemon, Professor.
Settle down. I would never do this for you.
I think you should still give it to him.
I was. He did it for the last question too, so I figured I'd just just let him.
I knew it looked funny when I wrote it.
All right. And Mr. Curtis says the Slowbro, it's one word now. The Slowbro squeezes on the tip of the tongue of the Shellder and causes it to that toxic goo right out.
Okay.
That's spelled PPPSSTT. That's what that is. Just so you know. Yes, you guys are both correct. It squeezes onto the Shellder's tongue. Very, very good. All right, question number 3. All right, this is kind of a long one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I want you guys to name 3 things that happens to Slowbro when a Shellder bites its tail, and you can't just say it evolves. That's not a valid answer.
Okay.
Okay. And I also want you to name 2 things that happens to Shellder when it bites Slowbro's tail. So that's 3 things that happens to Slowbro when the Shellder bites its tail, and 2 things that happens to Shellder when it bites Slowbro's tail. Or as a consequence of biting its tail.
Slowpoke's tail.
Yes, Slowpoke's tail. You know what? You're correct. So, and I guess it's what happens to Slowpoke, technically. Both of the answers are in. I was expecting 5 answers in total from you guys. Okay. First, I want 3 things that happens to Slowpoke when it gets bitten by a Shellder, and 2 things that happen to Shellder when it bites the Slowpoke. So, let's see what you said. Corbin says, Slowbro gets startled, 2, stands up on hind legs, and 3, forgets about the Shellder. And then he says, Shellder injects poison into Slowbro and grows to be a big boy or girl. Okay. And Mr. Curtis says, Slowpoke loses the ability to catch fish with its tail.
Fish.
Catch fish.
Touch fish.
It's only supposed to be catch fish with its tail. The poison, so that's 1. The poison from Shellder in its body makes it space out more. That's 2. And 3 says it gets shocked into standing on 2 legs. All right, that's 3. Then he says, Shellder feels like its life is a dream while it's sucking on that good sweet juice, and it metamorphoses into a spiral shell shape. Okay, all right. So I think Curtis is correct. Curtis has all 5 things there that I want. Corbin, you definitely had both of them for Shellder and for Shellder. It definitely injects poison. Although that's something that's happening to the. That's not really happening to the Shellder, though, is it?
But it's something that's doing.
That wasn't the question.
Well,
it's 2 things that happen to Shellder.
I would have put 3
Slowbro's
answers,
tail.
but you don't like when we do that, so.
Wait, what?
I would have put 3 answers. I know that it spaces out and thinks it's living the dream, or it thinks it's living the dream on the back of the tail. I know that, but I'm like, well, I could be more specific and say that it injects poison. Maybe that's the answer he's looking for.
I mean, injecting poison and feeling like it's living a dream are 2 completely different things. It's not,
It's still doing
like
it. You asked what it's doing. It's injecting poison.
I said what happens to Shellder. I didn't say what it's doing.
It injects poison. That's something that happens to it.
Maybe.
If I go stand in the toilet and you go, oh my god, what's happening to Corbin? Corbin's peeing. like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening to you, though. It's something
It is.
that Shellder,
I would argue that it is happening to me.
I would be like, what's happening to the toilet? Corbin's peeing on it.
God.
Oh, what's happening to Corbin? His body is losing pee.
Shellder's body's losing poison.
Every time I take a crap, oh, what's happening to Corbin?
His body's losing crap.
And for the Slowbro part, it forgets about the Shellder. I'll give you that one.
Yep.
I guess it does kind of forget about the Shellder.
It does.
Stands up on hind legs. Definitely. Yes, 100% correct.
Good.
For
100%.
sure.
Love it.
Slowbro gets startled.
It does.
I would say that that's the same thing as it standing up on its hind legs, though. I would say that's the same thing.
It spaces out.
I'm going to give you 4 out of 5, all right? Because
Fine,
2 of them
whatever.
I'm kind of on the fence about. So I'm going to give you 4 out of 5.
Fine.
You know what, Professor? You know what that is, Professor?
What is it? Tell me, please, Mr. Curtis. What is it?
That is a very equitable
Oh my
Wow.
god. Get on
Is it
with
also
it.
fair?
decision
Get on with
that
it.
you have made.
Is it also fair?
It's fair and equitable and wise.
So I would say, it can't feel pain. It gets a brief inspiration every so often. It's spacier, stands on 2 legs. And then for Shellder, it's changes into a spiral shape, and it's in a constant dream state. And that's about it. I don't think there's anything else for the Shellder, but there might be. There might be other things that happen to it. I just forgot. I'm not perfect. Or am I?
No, you are perfect.
No, he's not.
You know
Far
what?
from
You
You're
are
the
right.
farthest from it.
Professor, you're perfect because you set the standard of what perfect
Curtis,
is.
you're the perfect depiction of annoying. Please continue, Professor.
All right, last question. What grants Slowpoke heightened motivation during the Mega Evolution? And I did say Slowpoke there. Both of the answers are in. Corbin says the digestive juices of the Shellder, and he did spell Shellder right, so I'm very happy about that.
Oh,
He's learning.
good work, Corbin.
Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Curtis says, being immersed in the digestive juices of Shellder, Slowpoke's motivation and power is boosted. Being immersed in the digestive juices of Shellder, Slowpoke's motivation and power is boosted. That's one sentence. That's all one sentence. No punctuation or anything in there.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Yes, you guys are both correct. It's that specifically. I would have accepted the two words digestive juices, and that's it. But yes, you guys are exactly correct.
Well, I gotta make sure I'm thorough.
That's
Gotta
fine.
give it the
That's fine.
Mr. Curtis flair.
I always love an interesting read too. All right, that does it for today's quiz. Excellent job, the both of you.
Yes.
I'm very, very happy with the answers. And that's all I can ask for on a quiz.
Happiness.
sometimes.
That's right.
That's all I can ask for. But that does it for Slowbro. Does anybody know who we're gonna talk about next week?
Slow girl.
Slow. Oh, I was gonna say slow sis.
Oh.
We got the right. We got the
Slowsis.
got the same.
Slowsis sounds like a horrible disease. I'm so sorry. I have slowsis.
I can't come to the party. I've met a tarsal slowsis.
My
can't
God,
come.
I'm so sorry. Do you need anything? Is your family okay? Are you?
No, it's just you got to let the slowsis do its thing.
Don't worry. I make a mean baked poffin. I'm gonna get it right over to you.
Okay. Yes. We're learning about Magnemite next.
Oh, new evolution.
yes.
Okay, new Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know how you would define new. I guess it's new to you because you haven't talked about it yet. But we've known about Magnemite for a while. But yes, that is next week, and that does it for today's class. So if you, students at home, have any questions for me, or you know what, Corbin, you here in the classroom, if you have a question for me and you don't want to, come to my office, feel free to send me a Gmail, which stands for Gengar Mail, of course. My Gmail account is wwopokemon@gmail.com, so go ahead and send emails or Gmails that way. If you don't have a Gmail account, that's fine. You can also contact me via the Flying Pokemon themed social network site, Twitter. I'm there at WWOPokemon as well. If you really, really like this lesson, or if you really, really hated this lesson, you think that we should know about it, feel free to give us a rating on Flapple Podcasts. The best way to, let everybody else know how good I'm doing here in the classroom, because, I try my hardest. But that does it for today. So until next time, class is dismissed. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.